Geordie, Dan, thank you so much for taking the time out to talk with us. And it's been a long season and a successful season so far. And I guess where I want to start is with you, Geordie. We're going to go back to the beginning, or at least the beginning of this season. The dual affiliation is announced. The Seattle Kraken are going to appoint Dan Bylsma as the assistant coach. How long into that process were you getting whispers from the organization that, hey, this might be a dual affiliation year? Where did things kind of begin for you?
Well, I think I had the inclination that there was going to be a dual affiliation. I obviously had a relationship with Ron Francis prior, so we had spoke a little bit, and I knew he was looking for a coach to come in and work with me hand in hand with his prospects and Florida prospects, and obviously very lucky to have Dan join that group, and it just took off from there.
And Dan, for you, what attracted you to Charlotte? What made you want to come down here and take on this role in the American Hockey League?
Well, I initially, I didn't know it was Charlotte and going to be a dual affiliation, but the attraction to me was joining a new organization and kind of building from the ground up and how our players play and how the organization plays. And it turns out that was, going to be in Charlotte. And then, my time with Geordie, knowing Geordie is very small, but it does go back to many, many years ago getting called up from the East Coast League to the American Hockey League and playing with the Albany River Rats. So I had a little bit of a knowledge of Geordie and what kind of person he is and what kind of player he was and how he wanted to play.
So Geordie the coach and Geordie the player, are they two different people, or are they pretty much the same thing?
No, they're pretty much the same. There's an intensity and a grit and a determination of how he was as a player and certainly how he wants our team to play, his team to play, and that's very much a welcome thing from my standpoint. Exactly how I see the game as well, and it was exciting to get the opportunity to join with Geordie, come here and coach our young prospects in Seattle, but also the Charlotte Checkers.
And Geordie, when you find out that it's Dan Bylsma, someone that you have a professional relations with, what went through your mind during that stage as well?
Well, what a benefit, right? The guy who's won the Stanley Cup, coached the Olympics, World Championships. But first and foremost, I think you look at where he came from. He was in the East Coast League as a player, worked his way up to the American Hockey League, to a great NHL career, to playing for the Anaheim Mighty Ducks in the Stanley Cup final. And then as a coach, was in the American League, worked his way up. He was an assistant. I coached against him. I was an assistant in Albany. He was an assistant in Wilkes, and worked his way up to the Stanley Cup. So it's all about hard work. It doesn't matter if you're a coach, player. If you work hard, good things happen. And there's a perfect example sitting to my right, someone that's earned everything that he's gotten along the way.
Let's talk about some of that hard work, and we'll put the focus on the players. The season starts. There was an obvious point during the season where the team started to gel, and that came in the latter half of the season. But in that early part of the season, when did you kind of notice that, these things are going to click, this chemistry is great?
We never talked about it once, to be honest with you. Our approach together was, our first game was in Hershey. We'd played some scrimmages here as a group, inter-squad games, and we didn't know what we had. And again, we were both getting to know different type of players. Obviously, we had the Florida, we had Seattle. We were trying to fit guys in different roles. And honestly, from that day, well, not from that day forward, but after that first game, we just started to build every single day. And we spent many hours together talking about the game, how the game should be played, what type of cues, words we wanted to use with the group, so there was synergy across the board. And as I said, when you work hard and you put your nose to the grindstone and you stick to that, good things happen. And obviously the group clicked along the way, but I think if you ask any one of those, they can't pinpoint when. It was just a matter of just sticking to the process, and proud of the guys for doing that.
And then Dan, as the assistant coach, what is kind of your role on the team? How do you interact with the players, the different coaching staffs? What are your responsibilities?
Well, we're joining as a coaching staff, and Geordie's certainly the head coach of the team, but I think it was right from day one the message to the players and the message from us, and my role is we're together in this. We're as one. We're going to put our nose to the grindstone. We're going to work hard. We're going to come together as a team. We're going to play the right way, and we're going to have success doing it that way. And so that's been my role. That's been my message. It's been great working with Geordie for that reason, is because we've been on the same page, and the players, I think, they certainly get it from Geordie, but they get it from me as well.
And obviously one of the natures of the American Hockey League is the amount of players that will come through on just a yearly basis, and this year no different, having two affiliations, almost more so. What do you think the key to just keeping the wheels moving in the right direction really is?
Well, I think that's the great thing about the American Hockey League is you get your hands on, you get a lot of players who have the NHL as their goal, and they want to learn and they want to grow, and they're receptive to that coaching, they're receptive to that message, and our guys have been great at that. We've gotten players from Seattle and players from Florida, and we've had players called up from who knows where, and there's been a lot of guys who have been a part of that, and they've all really kind of grabbed onto it and developed their game, developed who they are as people, and that's been an awesome part for me, is for coaching these guys.
And Geordie, now we know the playoffs are right around the corner. The first question I want to ask you is, did the regular season go as you had envisioned back at the start?
No, again, I don't look at the big picture. I look at the every single day, and if we can win that day, and you hope to get to a point where it starts to click. And I think when the group started playing for the guy beside them, I think that's when it really started to click. And we're only as good as the players in the locker room, and if they want to play for each other, and it starts with the leadership group. Obviously, we have Dolps as the captain, who's done an amazing job, has a great passion for the game, which is contagious for everybody. But I think there are so many leaders in this locker room, and again, I don't think you can pin it to one guy. I think it's a group, and when a group decides to take over the team and play for each other, then you have something real special. So I think if you look at what everyone talks about, is that they really care about one another, and they come to work every single day. I mean, the sky's the limit, but we still have a lot of work ahead of us to do, and that work does not change. And if you want to make it real special, again, you have to, this new season that we had ahead of us, you got to play the right way, do the right things, and everyone has to be at their highest level at the right time.
And you're one of the lucky few who lifted the Calder Cup as a player. So if you can think back to that time, how is that experience in the postseason, as well as the experience you've had in the postseason as an assistant coach, going to translate and help you as we go forward here through this postseason?
Well, I think the key is the experience that I've had is that I translated at the start of the year. So all of a sudden now the message isn't changing. It's the same message all along. When you work hard, do the right things, play the right way, play for the guy beside you, and then obviously you have to have depth to be able to win in the end. That message has been loud and clear. We just didn't start talking about winning because we're now in the playoffs. We've talked about it from day one, how we get to there. So it's an extension of the regular season. We're continuing to get better every single day, and as I said, the team that gets in the playoffs, gets better throughout the playoffs, wins in the end. And again, you need that depth. And if you look throughout the year, we've had guys come up from the East Coast League. We've had guys step in different roles. We had Bunnaman and Rubitsov come in. We've had 8 goaltenders come in, which is kind of unheard of. 7 of them got victories with us. You need that depth to be able to win in the end. So it doesn't matter who's in the lineup. You got to play the right way, and you got to play for the guy beside you.
And Dan, the same thing for you. You have a plethora of experience, from lifting the Stanley Cup to Olympic medal winner. As a coach, what are you hoping to bring into this postseason, and what knowledge are you hoping to instill in some of these younger players?
Yeah, the message Geordie talked about it is almost the same as when I got to be the Pittsburgh Penguins head coach. Coming in, and we just wanted to get better every day, and we were getting better every day. We had 25 games left, and then into the playoffs, we were getting better every day. We just wanted to work to keep improving our team and play for the guy next year, and let our work and let our playing as a team speak for itself, and that's what the players have done so far this year with us. They've done an amazing job of, over the course of the year, working as a group, working as a team, putting the hard work in, getting better every day, and it's put ourselves in a good situation now as we head into the playoffs, and the challenge is still the same. That's what they've produced so far. That's what they've shown so far, and they got to keep having that mentality going here in the playoffs.
And I guess my final question, Geordie, you know, is the term defending champs floated around the locker room at all? I know most of these guys, all of these guys, were not here when the Checkers lifted the Calder Cup not too long ago. Is the term defending champs still being used? Is the thought of bringing that Calder Cup back to Charlotte and back to the fans here at Bojangles Coliseum a little bit of a motivation for some of these players?
Well, one of the first things I asked Tara, Michael, and Derek Wilkinson to do was to put the picture up front and center in the locker room of the Calder Cup. I think there's an obligation when a group, obviously different NHL organizations, different people here, but when a group ahead of you wins a Calder Cup, and I know I was here as one of the original staff members in Charlotte, and I know the hard work that this group has put in to have a group that is so prideful of their players and the commitment it took to be able to get to that level. The family atmosphere that Michael, Tara, and Derek brought to the group, I knew there was an obligation there as a staff, as a group, to be able to continue on. I don't really talk about the defending champs. I think it's well known without saying it through the picture. And as I said, our job as players is always to make the community, the fans proud of the product. We've done that so far, and we want to make it, again, we talk about a special group. It can be real special. We continue to do the right things on a daily basis.
Guys, thank you so much for your time.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.